Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Amirah Hall. I'm a psychic medium and an energy healer, and I'm here to help you raise your vibration, tune into your intuition, and manifest a life you love. And today I am here to share with you the June 2019 channel message for all astrological signs. But before I jump in, I just want to welcome all my new subscribers and thank you so much for everybody who's been supporting me along the way. It means so much to me that you're here and that you are sharing your comments and responding to all of what's going on for us. When I was tuning into June's energy messages from Spirit, I heard a ding dong and it was so clear, and it wasn't nobody at my door, but Spirit's asking us, is anybody home? Are you present? Are you listening to them? Are you ready to act when they inspire you? Are you grounded? And they showed me that with all of the changes and the surprises over the last few months, and I've been talking about that in May's message, you might want to refer back to that. A lot of dramas and traumas and shifts and changes. And, a lot of us have been left with, kind of blurry vision, or even like you had your bell rung, a little bit of shell shock. They're saying, pause. Perhaps you might want to take some more time to meditate or take those walks in nature. The dust needs to settle perhaps before you do take that next step in a new direction. Then my guide showed me a giant dinosaur, and it was as if there was a new version of ourselves that was stepping out of the old dinosaur, and that antiquated version of ourselves is falling away, or we're stepping away from it. Outmoded ways that have been long pervasive on the planet. This very thick, heavy skin is shedding. And as it's falling away and as we're releasing this, it's almost like an old costume, or a sense it doesn't feel like us, like it feels way different. Stepping out of that, we can feel vulnerable and humbled through these radical changes that many of us are making, and feeling perhaps more sensitive than normal, as like that old version of you is falling away. Some of you, as you're stepping away, you're not even going to recognize this new version of yourself, but it feels lighter, it feels fresher, it feels different, really different, And for some of you, Spirit showed me that, you're like in a vehicle and you're driving down the road and all four wheels spring off and the chassis of the vehicle is just stuck and you're left high and dry. The only way to get out of that is to get out of the vehicle, start walking, or get out and hitch a ride. You got to do something different. So whatever adventure your Spirit's trying to create for you, you're going to have to try a new approach, perhaps a whole new way of being or expressing yourself. And all of this is trying to be expressed through us. Then Spirit showed me someone beating an old rug. And, my question is, are you trying to beat a dead horse? Are you trying to beat the dust out of an old rug? Are you beating yourself up? Have you been unwilling or unable to forgive perhaps yourself or somebody in your life or something in your past? There's choices we've made that sometimes it's about letting it go and moving on. What relationships are you trying to resurrect or beat something out of something? Or is there a part of your career or a job that is over, kaput, finished? What pattern is stuck? What are you holding firm to? What are you so committed to keeping alive that is really no longer serving you? So, rather, my guides are saying, pause, reconsider, what you can do to fulfill yourself with goodness. Perhaps give yourself some more time to meditate. And what can you do to support the changes that are coming down or that need to be made? Spirit has been nudging us for some time now, kicking us around. And even if you feel like everything's stopped, that's part of the nudge. What's been trying to get your attention for a long time? You know, I've been feeling too, since the abundance activations and the next chapter activations, I've been channeling a lot of energy activations and transmissions. And I haven't been very creative with my hands lately. And I've always sewn or gardened or cooked, and I used to make jewelry, and I used to paint. But all of a sudden I've been feeling this big push of creativity, and not really wanting to readdress the old ways of creativity. And I was guided to make these cards. And I have been having fun and with looking for all kinds of messages here. And so Spirit guided me to, out of 100 cards, to pull a card for today, June's message for you. And so the very first thing, as I shuffled the cards and pulled out this one card, this is the card that got my attention. And the very first thing that I focused on was the blue. And I thought, geez, somebody's struggling with depression, or this stillness that feels like depression. And perhaps it's just so stuck. You know, for a couple months now, we've been asked, my guides have been saying, you know, dive deeper, you know, let go of what you're resisting. And, you know, the swimmer is swimming backwards, and she's face up, or he, it's hard to tell here. You know, pushing past fear or what's unconscious, where we're buried. And Spirit's saying, you know, in some places we've been holding on to some bitterness, and we need the proper tools to help us release that bitterness and turn it into a sweetness. We've been loyal and committed to some patterns, you know, like this loyal dog here, but turning away from what we need to make a change with. Perhaps it's thinking, perhaps there's some feelings. Spirit's giving us a kick to move on, move out of the way, get going, to allow yourself, to trust yourself, to move away from abuse or where you're stuck in fear. You know, I'm delighted to see on the back side, it's very different energy. And, you know, as I look at this, the background of this card is blurred. There's a hustle and bustle of the world outside of ourselves that's a bit of a blur, you know, and we're hard to get a perspective of what's truth and what's not. In the foreground, there's a jester or a trickster. So you might want to look around in your life, who's been pulling the wool over your eyes or persuading you to feel or think a certain way that's no longer in alignment with you. There's a beautiful woman here up in the corner. She's graceful, she's glamorous, and she's radiant. You know, she's acknowledging the beauty within and within outside of herself to others. But beside her, there's a beast, there's a giant, there's a gorilla, you know, and that relates also to what Spirit was saying about the dinosaur, that part of ourselves stepping away from this old, you know, outmoded version of ourself, the clunky kind of prehistoric, dysfunctional, or maybe even victimized parts of ourselves. There's a fig here below this beautiful woman, and this is telling me the creative fertility is you know, bubbling up and is ever present within us, and with an outstretched hand with a gorgeous pink daisy. I think it's a Gerber daisy or something similar to it. You know, the pink is love, and you know, it's full, it's open, and it's in the palm of our hands. We have access to it. It's already here for us. And then at the very tips of our fingers is this giant silver kiss, a chocolate kiss. I'm suggesting this is a kiss from the universe with a little message of thank you from the universe to you, thanking you for stepping into your power, thanking you for acknowledging the power within, and thanking the universe for all the support and the abundance that pervades around us. So with that, I had closed my eyes, and Spirit guided me into a crater, you know, some marking that has been created thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And I'm reminded again that these patterns that we are stepping away from have been created on the planet a very, very long time ago. Perhaps we came from another star system. So standing and going down into the bottom of the crater, I looked up and all I could see was a beautiful night sky filled with like diamond-like stars that were scintillating and flickering and sparkling. And as I looked down from the stars were just a flash of light that just entered into my eyes like laser lights and flashes of lights that's coming into our perception. Again, I believe in April and May, I talked about the changes in our perception, how we're seeing things differently. So hang on to your hat. Things are getting really exciting, and I really invite you to tune in to your own intuition for your own messages for your next step. And if you're needing some support with that, I'm delighted to support you with that. So you can get the link below for access to other offers and my private sessions. So with that, I thank you for joining me again. Thank you for giving this video a thumbs up if it resonates. And I'll see you for my next video and tuning into my Soul Oracle cards. Blessings for a magical month of June.